Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Deep Violet podcast. My name is Vittoria, and I sit down with artists asking them how they do what they do and why they do what they do. For this episode, I spoke with Jack Kenna, a New York based artist who was born in Colorado and lived in Vancouver, where he got his Bachelor of Fine Arts from Emily Carr University of Art and Design. In Vancouver, he did his first solo show called Dairyland at Slice of Life, and his most recent solo show was also in Vancouver at the Equinox Gallery in 2023. And I love this title. How slowly time passes, how quickly things change. And in 2022, he did the Burrard Artist Residency. This episode was wonderful. We spoke about something that I think is really undervalued in today's world, which is bringing fantasy and curiosity to the mundane. Referenced in his first solo show title, Dairyland, a common theme for his work is a milk crate, which Jack warps and fills with color, wonder, and helps us appreciate things that are often overlooked, which I think is beautiful. I hope this episode reminds you to look at the world with a little bit more wonder. Without further ado, enjoy the episode. So to get right into speaking about your work, how would you define your practice? I mean, we have some of your works up here. I don't know if they're in the shot, but this one here. Like including materials and everything and kind of themes, and how would you define it?
Yeah,
Easy question.
I guess I usually tell people who know nothing about my work, I tell them that I make contemporary still life painting, which...
That's a good definition.
Yeah, I think it feels like the closest to encapsulating most of what I do. So yeah, just like a lot of hyperfixation on objects. Obviously, like the milk crates are something that I've been doing for years, and like a lot of people know me for that subject matter. But also like interior spaces, spaces that would be like a living space or a workspace, bedrooms, offices, messy desk areas. And yeah, I'm really into like materiality of paint. I work with oil and acrylic and like gouache. I like spray paint. I like using like a lot of different paints to, I don't know, kind of use different effects. And so also like I love painting, you know, a bouquet of flowers, a classic. I feel like you can really like do a lot of different things
like
with that. Yeah.
Do you use all like the material, like all the materials you just listed? Would you use all those on one painting?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I feel like
Breaking the rules.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I layer everything properly usually.
Yeah.
But I feel like actually less so lately. Like this show I have up in Vermont right now is the first show I've ever had of all just oil paintings. I've been like really digging into the oil painting this last year.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it feels good.
Yeah.
Like, on the hand to do.
Yeah, and it just has like something about it, and it's taken me a long time to like really fully embrace it in this way that now I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever
once you go to oil painting, it's hard to go back.
But there's so much about acrylic that I like. I'm really impatient, and so like I love how quickly oil or acrylic paint dries, and I'll be like, even like I'll have my hair dryer out like
while you're oil painting, or when you're
with acrylic, yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
like 5 minutes, that's way too long. I'm like, I need like 30 seconds. So I like acrylic for that, because I can just like keep going, and I don't really like painting like wet into wet, or like I like things being like dry layers on top of dry layers. And so I've found a way with these milk crate paintings that I've been making now, they're all oil. I've found a system where I can like do kind of like one layer a day, and I use like fast drying medium. So I found a way to make it work, but
what do you use?
I use like a synthetic walnut.
Alkali walnut oil?
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's just like fast drying. That or liquid. I use ton
Yeah.
of too, which is like
I don't like
kind
how
of the
liquid
standard.
like changes the texture.
Yeah, it's kind of
my
gelatinous. Yeah, which
It
for me,
mattifies
I
as well.
paint so thin with oil, so it doesn't, texture ultimately doesn't matter because everything's pretty thin and not like
Yeah.
doing like big chunks of paint or anything.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, I can see that being, it's kind of jello-y, which isn't as pretty.
Well, it's also like mattifying, but I feel like
Yeah.
mattifying isn't really bad for your work. It
Yeah.
kind of works with it.
Mhm.
So again, a little bit about describing your work, but is there any like message that you want to give with your work, like, or something that you're trying to say, or something that you're saying through your work?
Yeah, I mean, I think something I hear from people often that I like to hear is that they can see like a sense of like passion and joy across like my entire body of work that comes through. Like they can see that there's like, I had fun making this thing, and I'm like very passionate about it. And I think something like the fact that I've been painting milk crates for like 7 or 8 years now, it's like such a stupid thing to fixate on. And so it's like someone has to really be passionate about this to like keep doing this for like the better part of a decade.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, I hope that comes through, and there's like a sense, especially when someone's standing in front of a piece in real life, they can like really feel this sense of joy I get from making it come through it. And yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Joy.
Yeah.
And like the passion that you have for it.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's such a good like message to have, or like a feeling to have that you want to like transcend into your work. So speaking about the viewer and how like what you're trying to say and all that, how often do you think about the viewer? Is that something that you think about a lot when you're working, or is that kind of in the back of your head at all?
Yeah, I think I do, for sure. Yeah, I think I always have. I think coming up in the early 2010s, and like like I don't know, I was like a Tumblr kid in high school.
Me and you both.
Yeah, I like kind of always had this relationship with social media where I was like posting my work online. So I think I'm really comfortable doing that. And I don't know, it's something I actually like, I would do less now. I would probably do almost not at all if I didn't feel like I had to, for like, I don't know, purposes.
Your job.
Yeah, if it was. But yeah, I've always felt like I can like I would always be making things with that notion that it could or would end up be seen by people, if not in person, then online. So yeah, I think that's always in the back of my head, for better or for worse.
Yeah, it's a tricky like balance between the good and the bad of that. And then on the same kind of note, what do you think draws people into your work? I guess we kind of talked about that, like the joyous feeling, but if there's anything like more specific.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a broader sense, that is something I hope that people get from it. And then I think also like in a more specific or like tangible sense, like, yeah, I think I like I render things in many different ways, and things can be like hyper realistic and then like super abstract and then like kind of like cartoony and flat all in one painting often. So yeah, I like, you know, especially with larger works I make, I like them to be like, have tons of tiny little wormholes basically you can get like really sucked in to, and like basically like a million little paintings within one big painting.
Yeah, you do that really well.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that would probably be another thing that draws people in. Or like with the milk crate paintings, I think like creating a real sense of space and depth within this flat plane, and like just the sheer amount of like, what's the word? Like just repetitive detail, like the concentration it takes to make one of those paintings, I think hopefully comes through as like meticulousness, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's like I feel like people appreciate like the attention you put on something and like the intricacies of that, and like it kind of, what I really like about specifically the milk crates is like I like the attention you bring to something that someone would find like mundane or like something to like overlook, and you're telling them to find like beauty in it, or to find it interesting as you do, and the way that you see it,
to consider it again, and like yeah, totally.
I love that. I feel like that's one, there's many jobs of like artists, but I feel like that's one job and one of my favorite ones, to like make things and bring importance to mundane things.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, and like invite people to like notice what's around them more thoughtfully, and not, because it's so easy to just like move through your day and not like
pay attention to stuff.
Yeah, or find like a little thing that could excite you that is like stupid.
Yeah,
you know?
no, 100%. So it's kind of interesting. I like to ask this next question because, you know, like it's interesting to see how people have these like formulate these ways to want to express themselves. Like you really like milk crates and all this stuff, and it's nice to know where it comes from. So how do you think your childhood affected your practice, or like do you think that there's something that you did when you were young, or something that you saw that made you be an artist, or if you didn't have that experience you wouldn't have been an artist?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a really creative childhood. I had a lot of really like a small group of really close friends that all lived near me, and our parents are all friends, and we basically, like, I consider them siblings to this day. Like, we're all still really close, and spent just so much time together as kids, like running around barefoot around the neighborhood. Like, no one was really keeping tabs on us, and I feel like we all were just like really creative together, and that from an early age, you know, instilled something in me. And then honestly, I had like no hobbies or activities as like into middle and high school. Like I wasn't interested in sports. I wasn't interested in like clubs. I didn't really like organized anything. And so I spent a lot of time just like home alone, like entertaining myself, and that's how I started drawing and just like building like weird like miniature like kind of like dioramas, like kind of like doll houses, and just like being a weird inside kid by myself. And like I thank God my parents were never the kind of parents that would like make me join clubs and do activities. They definitely like wished I would have, and like tried, encouraged me, but at the end of the day they weren't gonna like force me to do anything I didn't want to do. And
you didn't want to do it.
For some kids, I think it's probably good that their parents force them to do things. For me, I'm like, it actually worked out the other way, because now to this day I sit in a windowless room for 8 to 10 hours a day by myself, just like basically like toiling on my little projects. And that's what I did when I was a kid, so I'm very comfortable doing that, and I don't need like a lot of stimulation, and I'm really good at like concentrating and just like seeing through my own little project without I don't need any like organized group activity or like discipline, you know. I'm just like very like comfortable going and doing that on like any day. That's kind of like what I want to do. I feel like I relate to that. Like my parents didn't put me in anything. Well, I didn't want, like, I was like, I hate sports, I don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want to do it, Mom. They were desperate to put me in something. I was like, absolutely not. But I feel like for me, and maybe this is kind of what you're saying, like boredom
like the practice of boredom is something that I've really tried to like reinvite.
Yeah.
You know, like just like you're saying, like being in a little room with no windows and just being like, okay, well, I'm gonna be here for like 8 hours.
So I better make up a little project.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like boredom is like one of the biggest gifts an artist can have.
Yeah.
Like boredom. Like I'm just using that. It's like a window to have creativity.
Exactly. I mean? Yeah. And again, like a lot of my work is about like banality and like, you know, I'm not painting like sex and death and war, you know, I'm painting like a desk and like an electrical plug and
boring things.
Yeah, but it's like how what you imbue into them, like the passion and the attention to detail is what makes it like something that can be like spectacular, you know? Yeah.
No, I love that. So moving on from childhood onwards, I like to ask this one because it's kind of fun to know like what odd jobs artists have worked. I feel like artists have worked a lot of odd jobs. So do you have like a little like top like jobs that you did? Some random, like some more art related?
Yeah, I mean, one of my probably my favorite non-art job I ever had was actually, you missed this in your bio, but I lived for 3 years in Seattle between high school.
Went to school there.
Yeah. I went to school there for 2 years and then was not in school and just living there for a year. But yeah, like 2013 to 16. And the job I had the whole time I was there, I was working for a chocolate company as their delivery driver. So they had like a bunch of locations around town where they also had like they're like coffee shops with truffles. But anyway, my job was like going to the factory in the morning and loading up the truck with truffles and then driving around town in their little like pickup truck and delivering them to all the locations.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I did that the whole 3 years I lived in Seattle and it was so fun. And I was just like, got to be like out on my own and then like visiting each store and like chatting with the baristas
and giving them chocolate.
Yeah,
like,
and like eating chocolate all day.
Deliver.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I still have dreams that I work there all the time, and they're like happy dreams.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then I don't know. I've been lucky to work for the last like over 6 years now mainly for artists as an assistant. So I've done like worked for sculptors doing like resin and plaster and fiberglass and stuff, stained glass, a bunch of different painters, a weaver.
Oh wow.
And that's just so cool because you get to look into and work in all these different studios and see how successful artists like are running their studios and making work and obviously learning so many skills and oftentimes you get like a real like mentor out of that person as well, so it's like you're getting paid to
get experience,
be like schooled, you know. So I mean that has been invaluable for sure. And
did you like how did you get those experiences? And also because I know that you do glass, fiberglass, is that what
stained glass.
Stained glass.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was that introduced through like one of your mentors or like one of these jobs, or was that something that you found on your own?
No, that was actually something I learned from my mom.
Oh, that's lovely.
About the time that I went to art school, my mom also started like, you know, empty nest because I was the youngest kid. So my mom started kind of pursuing art as well. Like she dabbled in like welding for a while and ceramics and finally landed on stained glass somehow through like a friend I think taught her, and so she's been doing it now for the last like 10 probably years, and like she has her own studio back in Colorado and is actually like getting really involved with like a small gallery there, and lovely. She sells her work and takes her work to craft fairs and like does classes and stuff. So I started just learning from her. I'd like go home for Christmas and learn.
That's such a lovely like introduction to that.
Yeah, it was really great learning from her. And then I got a job through a friend for I'm working on public art project in Vancouver, in Burnaby actually, on like a giant stained glass window. And after doing that, I felt like super competent that I could do my own thing. And so then that's when I like invested in the equipment and started doing my own, you know, twist on it.
Yeah, they're really beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah, I hope to have the space to do it again soon.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't. I don't know.
Hard. Would you like rent out a studio for that?
Maybe, or like switch this over from a painting studio into a glass studio. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And then about the jobs a little bit more, like how do you feel like those impacted your career at all? I guess you kind of said about the mentoring, but maybe a little bit about like the non-art jobs. Like I like to always think about how those impact you know, our life and our practice.
Yeah, I mean non-art jobs. So that was my first like that got me into like coffee shop world. I was a barista for years too, so like a lot of my other jobs were baristaing at various different places. But that first delivery job, I think, felt not dissimilar to some artist assistant jobs I've had, because you're kind of like wearing many hats and you're kind of like the person everyone calls when they need something, and you kind of like are decision making and like you're deciding your own route for each day, and kind of like there's not like one. We were talking about this before too, like generally like an art career, there's no like one clear path, and that job every day was like a different day with different demands, and you kind of had to like choose your own adventure and make sure you like meet everyone's needs and finish everything. And so just now like working for artists, oftentimes you have to be that kind of like problem solver who like can think on the fly and like improvise if something's not working, and you're sometimes running around town and
so like the same freedom like of the job, and like kind of like you said, thinking on your feet type thing.
And I don't know, with like baristaing, I don't know, I think I'm a morning person, so
really?
I could like get up and work and then still like go to class if I was still in school, or like go to my studio after. Like it felt like the, you know, working 7 to 3, you can still get your 8-hour shift in, and then like have some daytime to like, you know, go to galleries or go to school or go to the studio or whatever.
We have different clocks.
Definitely
not a morning person. I'm trying to, but it's not working.
I mean, if you're a night person, just go with that, you know? You just gotta pull those late nights in the studio, I guess.
It's so much fun. But we talked a little bit about jobs, but I always like to know, like especially for someone who's like entering the career, kind of like preparing themselves for like what is really necessary, the things that we're kind of not talked about. So what access have you had to things, and like, or like financial backing, or like certain privileges that you had that you think like helped you, and if without them, like maybe you would be in a different position that you would be in? Like what help have you had basically?
I mean, I am lucky to be debt-free from school, like thanks to the support of my parents and grandparents who helped me pay for school. And you know, most of my friends have some or a lot of debt, and that would be really stressful. I mean, I feel like most of my friends are just like not paying it, and I probably would just not do that too. And just hope that someday the banks collapse.
I think you don't have to worry about it anymore.
And it's like a big, like, I think about grad school sometimes, but I'm just like, there's no way I'm going into debt for that shit, you know? So I think that alone was like a huge major help, and something I don't have to worry about at this point. And because just paying rent in this city is crazy enough, so
New York, it's a tough one.
But I think like I don't know, I always worked through school and sometimes like 2 jobs, and I honestly think that was helpful, because like by the time I graduated school, I had already like worked for 2 different artists, and I felt like I had like gained so much experience that someone who just like was in school and focusing on that wouldn't necessarily have or like bring to their job prospects.
Yeah, 100%. I was kind of saying like kind of on how like I started, it was this podcast was kind of because how lost you feel like once you graduate, because you're like, I don't like, how do I now like start? But if you have this type of jobs, I feel like it's a lot more helpful and educational. You kind of like understand a little bit more like the footing of it, right?
Yeah, I felt like I knew like kind of the schedule I had to keep, and I knew it was always really important to me, like I have to keep a studio. The day I give up having a studio is the day that a lot of things like I feel like will start to slip through my fingers. So yeah.
And then as your career like evolved, how do you think that like opportunities changed for you, or like what opportunities? Or kind of on the same hand, let me elaborate a little bit more. Kind of on the same hand, that was like, how much did you reach out for opportunities? And like you did the Burrard residency and stuff like that, or shows and stuff. How often do you reach out? How often do you ask? And kind of how has that changed throughout your career? It was kind of more the question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when in school and like when I was first out of school, I was just more focused on making my own opportunities. I wasn't really like, I mean, we're all kind of waiting for like some big gallery to email out of the blue and like offer you a solo show or something, but I wasn't gonna like sit around and wait for something like that, I don't know if you ever went to like any ground floor events, or if that is familiar to you. Ground floor.
It sounds familiar.
It was like a little DIY gallery that I was running with some friends, with Yasmin Hairu and India Elliott and Asia Zhang.
I feel like I recognize all of those names.
Yeah. Yasmin and India and I all like met in school. I went to Emily Carr, and Asia didn't, but she joined like a year later. She's from the Okanagan, but has been in Vancouver now for like 5 or 6 years. But yeah, we just like found, I don't know if you know the Chinatown Center Mall. It's like,
yeah, I do.
Yeah, so now it's like all like tattoo shops and vintage stores and all those little things. But we moved in there in 2018, and it was completely empty except for like one little like urgent care clinic and like a clothing store on the other side. Just like completely empty. And we were using the upstairs as a studio. We were all just like splitting the rent. We're like, okay, this will be our studio, and then if we'll just like have shows sometimes. And quickly there was just like such a need for it, because in Vancouver for like emerging artists, I mean, there's always someone doing it there. But at the time it felt like, I don't know, there was like Duplex and like Dynamo before they closed down. But anyway, we were just like really filling a need for like mostly Emily Carr students, but we also did some like work with like UBC students and SFU students. But yeah, there was like 2 years where we were just like having shows like twice a month, and just like selling beer and wine, which helped to pay the rent, and throwing like music shows and art shows. And
that's awesome.
And I feel like that's how I like met so many people in Vancouver, because I was like a transfer kid and like took the first year or so at Emily Carr. I didn't have a lot of friends and found it really hard to so that's why I wanted to do it in the first place. I was like, I just don't know anyone here. Like I need, just like you're doing this now, you're like, I want a reason to like reach out to people and like it's like I think creating your own opportunities is way better than like hoping someone will pluck you out of obscurity, or even like spending all your time just like applying to a million residencies that are like a shot in the dark, and you're just like wasting all your energy doing that.
Yeah, it's just disheartening. As much as like it is important, I feel like it's just like very exhausting.
Yeah, it's something I still like feel like I should do more, but it's just like I'd rather be painting.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to like do a million random applications that. Yeah. Anyway, I try and do a few every so often.
I know. It really is.
It's hard. It's daunting.
It's one of the worst parts.
Yeah.
For me, at least, I like hate writing and like.
Me too. Yeah. So I just like. Yeah, I feel like I've always focused on just like making my own opportunities, especially early on. I was like, I'll have my own show, or like I'll throw a show with my friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was able to like get noticed in Vancouver just by like doing my own thing and not waiting around. And then like as things have progressed, I guess like I do get reached out to a bit more and don't have to like I miss kind of like doing like a DIY show or something I haven't done. I feel like I used to be so active in like Vancouver's art scene, and now that I've moved to New York, like I don't even know a lot of visual artists here yet. So I've like kind of been thinking about wanting to do that again, but you know, it's just finding a space or right. So yeah, I don't know. I think things have definitely shifted now to where I'm doing less of the like creating my own opportunities, but I'm also I don't know. I have relationships now with people who can help show my work, and so just like trying to keep those strong more, and like also trying to just like paint and not get too distracted by other things, you know.
Again, like I always come back to this, but I feel like being creative in any form is just a balancing act of like the formal and like the creative, and like finding the right balance between the two.
Yeah.
And not getting too sucked into one or the other, because if you're just like doing your art the whole time and you're not sharing it or like not reaching out or like blah, you're not really gonna go anywhere. And if you just focus on like outsourcing like opportunities and not focusing on your work, it's just a balance.
Yeah, and for better or for worse, like it is such a social thing. Like I think a lot of people lament how the art world is like all about, it's like, oh, it's just about who you know, it's not about how good your work is. And that's true, you know, to some degree, but it's also like everything is social, and like no one's gonna be able to find your work if no one knows who you are. So like you do have to like get involved in that community or that world, and that's what makes it good, is like if people know each other and like each other and support each other and like feel like they know each other and are involved in each other's lives and practices. So it's like kind of a good thing to do, is like stay involved and reach out to other artists and meet people and be kind to people, and you know what I mean, like that's all really important and should help you get a show. You know, if you like you're gonna get out what you put in. So if you're going and supporting the people around you and lifting up your friends, and that's gonna come back to you, you know.
100%.
And I think that's what happened with me with like Ground Floor. Like I spent 3 years like, you know, this was not a money-making project. In fact, it was like the opposite. But we were all just like really passionate about it and wanted to like support our friends and wanted to like lift other people up. And I feel like that came back to me later in a big way. So it's kind of like, you get out what you put in, you know.
Do you know that in that building now there's like 2 or 3 different galleries?
Oh really?
Yeah, there's like one called like Sardine something, like Sardine Boxing.
Okay, Canton Sardine?
That one.
Okay, yeah.
And also this gallery is there now.
So that's the Sunwa Center, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then the one we were in was actually like around the corner. Like, do you know where like Honeybee is?
Yeah, I do.
Kind of like just halfway down the block on Gore.
Okay.
But anyway, nearby there. I used to have my studio in the Sunwa Center where Canton Sardine is too.
Nice.
And like, there's so many fun things going on over there.
Yeah, it's slowly growing. So you kind of already said that, like, you feel like having that gallery space with your friends was like a big opportunity for you. But can you think of anything else, like one opportunity that kind of like pushed you forward and like propelled you to the point where you are now? Or is that like really the thing that you think about most? Like that you just mentioned?
I mean, that was huge. And it's like, it's so hard to pinpoint one thing just because everything is so interconnected and like kind of slowly snowballs. But I mean, I could shout out like another really cool artist run project in Vancouver that I think was part, if you know Telephone Gallery.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Yeah, so that started at Macaulay & Co. Fine Arts, which is an awesome gallery. Nikki, who's the director there, she started this initiative where they use their little back gallery to have, to give artists a solo show. You know, it's small, it's like the size of half of this studio. And the first show was with Tom Sue. Do you know his work? He's a photographer.
So, yeah.
So she picked him to have a show. And then the concept of Telephone Gallery is the artist who shows picks the next artist.
Yes.
So Tom chose me.
Oh, lovely.
And so then I did a little painting show there. And then now I think it's like 12 or more artists on. But stuff like that is really cool where it's like, it's in the community. The artists get to decide and like, you know, pick another artist whose work they admire, or, you know, a friend who has been overlooked, or, you know, it's like, it's just really cool because it's like the artists get to be like the curators and it's really like in their hands. And now I think the gallery is moving around, or it's, the project's still going, but I think it's kind of hopping around in different spaces a bit. But that was like, I don't know. I feel like from there, I know, like, I invited Sophie, who's the director at Equinox, to that. And we had already been in touch and done studio visits and stuff, but kind of after seeing that show is how we, like, started, like, actually working together. So I could, like, pinpoint that as, like, a definite
good opportunity.
Yeah, and just, like, I like that because it, again, it shows how these, like, artist-led, like, initiatives can really, like, lift you up, you know, and like it's not like some hotshot curator who's gonna swoop in and save you. It's gonna be like people you know in the community.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah.
I really love that that idea that they have of like the telephone game and like you pick the next artist.
Yeah, and it's funny seeing like
the taste of the artist.
Yeah, and like how, you know, just like a game of telephone, how it like transmutes, or like the kind of work that's showing. Like there was a time when it was like tons of photographers all in a row, and it's like going through the photography community, you know, and then it will shift, and I don't know. Yeah, it's a really cool project. Cool. So I'm glad it's still going.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Feel lucky to have been part of it.
So my next question is a little daunting, but what do you consider a successful artist? And then follow up to that one is where you are right now. Do you like, because I know that there's like different levels of success, but like for where you are right now, the stage that you are at, do you consider yourself successful?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has to define success for themselves, but I think, if you feel like you're able to make your work, that doesn't mean you have to be making it full time or selling it or anything, but if you are able to structure your life so that you're able to dedicate, you know, even a day or like a couple nights to making your work and, you know, following your own creative practice, then I think that in itself is success, you know. I think for me, my ultimate idea of success would be able to just like truly work a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday in my studio and just like be like a boring like person who just like works Monday to Friday 9 to 5 in my studio, and then can like take the weekend off and not think about art, honestly. Like go like go camping or like have fun with my friends and just be like a normal person. Like I was just talking about this with a friend last night. But, like I love art and painting, and I feel so lucky that I've been able to make it what I do. But I'm not the kind of person that is thinking about art and like talking shop about painting like with my friends, or even hanging out with other painters super often. Like most of my friends are not visual artists at all, and I kind of like to just like check it at the door when I leave and be like, okay, I actually have other interests and hobbies too, and like that's what I do, and I'm so glad that I get to do that and not be like an accountant or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
but like it's also not my whole identity or world. So anyway, yeah, I think that's what I would say is my ultimate goal. But that said, I already do feel like I am so lucky and have reached a level I never honestly thought I would. And like the fact that right now I have a part-time job where I paint for someone, and then I come here and paint, and I am making a living painting. So that alone is like,
that's beautiful.
Crazy. Yeah. And I feel so lucky for that. Yeah. So.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's like a beautiful thing to be able to do and be like, this is how I make ends meet, is I do the thing that I really love.
Yeah. It's such a blessing.
Yeah. Even just like, even if you're doing it for like an artist, but like still like the hand of it. But I also do really agree, like having the balance between like art life and like outside life is also like really healthy. I know some people are way more like extreme with it, and they're like, oh, my life has to be art.
And I was like that. I mean, I feel like I was like that even like towards the end of school, and like the first couple of years out of school, I was just so determined to be.
Well, that probably brought you here.
Yeah, but now I'm just like, okay, like
I did my time.
Yeah, like let's just go play pool or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, let's just do something.
Or camping with people.
Yeah. Like I try and like go see a lot of art in New York, but also I'm like, I miss so much stuff, and sometimes I'm like, I can't be bothered to go.
Well, I feel like New York is like a perfect place to have that feeling or like that excuse, because there's just so, because when I was in Berlin for a few months, and I was like, there's just so much.
Yeah.
Like I can't go to all of it. Like, I'm gonna take a break sometimes from like seeing art, because it's just never ending.
Yeah, the film is just too much. It's like overwhelming.
I can't go to every single opening because they're physically not possible.
Yeah, you couldn't. That would be a full-time job.
That literally would be. So now that we talked about your practice, and like how you got here, I want to speak about like the actual like ins and outs of how you do things. So, my favorite, do you have a sketchbook, and what does a sketchbook mean to you, and how's your sketchbook practice, if at all?
Yeah, I have always kept a sketchbook. I mean, that's how I started when I was like, you know, a kid. Just drawing. And it ebbs and flows, I think. Like, if I'm painting a lot, I'm usually not drawing as much, just because, my energy's going in the painting. But yeah, like, I mean, this is a sketchbook here. Lately, I've been having one kind of, like, sketchbook that I take around with me, and it's more, like, drawing for drawing's sake. And then I have, like, a studio one that's, like, more loose and just working out like painting composition.
I love seeing that.
These are like
from like color.
Yeah, these are for paintings for the show at Equinox last year. They were like they were like these modular synth like music, digital music making machines. So this was just kind of planning out like the colors and the basic shapes. But yeah, kind of like just, I don't know, really loose, sloppy.
Like this is for painting.
Yeah.
This is planning for
working
painting.
out like specific shape. How would I paint this?
Yeah.
And like jotting down notes, but then I have another sketchbook that I don't have here right now that's like not necessarily anything I would ever turn into a painting. It's just like
creativity
drawing.
Being put out.
Yeah. Which I think over the last year I haven't been as active in sketchbooks because I've just been like painting. But yeah, always keep one. I have like from the last dating back to 2017 at least, and then somewhere I have like going back to at least like 2010.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But you have pretty big sketchbooks. Is that like your usual like size?
Yeah, like those thick ones. Yeah, and then these are like these thin ones like as my studio sketchbooks. I have another studio sketchbook, that skinny one.
Yeah, I see that. But like pretty long ones, like really big.
Like bigger papers. Yeah. I like that kind of standard like printer paper size or whatever.
Yeah, like A4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sketchbooks are really important. And then, another note, studio, like your beautiful studio. What does your studio represent to you? And like, yeah. And how important is it to you?
It's super important to me. I mean, this is the first time, besides like a residency I've done. This is the first time I've not shared a studio with someone. I mean, I kind of do. Yeah. But I have my own door. Yeah. Which is really nice just having moved to New York, and I have 6 roommates. So it's like just to have one space that's just mine
100%.
is really nice, and you know, I get to come here and enjoy my solitude. And to me it represents like consistency, like when I am not able to come in here very much, or if I don't. The first couple months I was in New York, I didn't have a studio, and I felt really like untethered and kind of like anxious almost, because this is a place where I can just like consistently come and like be by myself, check in with myself, and think things through. I think for me I've tried to always have a studio space since school, because you can fall out of those habits so quickly.
100%.
So
and what's the balance like for you? Like, what's your ideal balance, like studio life and outside life? I guess we kind of touched on it, but
I mean, like I said, my true ideal would be like literally 40 hours a week in the studio Monday to Friday. But because I have this other part-time job, generally I try and do like, if I was working that job 3 days, then maybe in here 2.5 or 3 days, and then a day off. Yeah. But some weeks it's like I'm just in here as much as I can if there's a deadline, or I often, like the past month, I haven't even been coming in because I just like crammed for this show and got it finished, and I've just been like taking the month off and recharging and connecting with friends, and so it does change a lot. I'm definitely big on like, I'm kind of like a work hard, play hard person. Like I really will hit the studio really hard for like months and pull like 12-hour days in here. And then once whatever I'm working on is done, I'll be like, okay, I'm leaving for 3 weeks. I'm going on a trip. Like I'm taking time off. So I'm good about like resting, but it's pretty like right now, it's so like
ebbs and flows.
Just like all over the place.
I mean, that's important. I feel like outside studio life is almost as important as like studio life.
I mean, it's I also feel like I very much bring my life into my work and my experiences, so I need to like go live a life so that I can like think of ideas, think of things to paint. This kind of beautifully falls into the next question of like, what about the outside life, or like your outside of art, like what inspires you that's not like artist like work, painting? I guess
from milk crate.
Right. I mean, I like seeing how other people live, other people's living spaces. I like, obviously, I mean, I do like going and looking at art and art shows, but also like just creative stuff in general. Like, I have a lot of like dancer and actor friends, and like going and seeing movies. I am really outdoorsy and like camping and going on bike trips and traveling, visiting friends in other cities. I don't know. I feel like I take a lot of just like iPhone photography when I'm out and about, of like weird objects or interesting lighting or whatever, and that often will make its way back into my paintings like a month later or a year later. I use iPhone photos a lot when I'm out. It's like I'm always kind of
thinking about it subconsciously.
I'm working on a with my friend Colton, who lives in Vancouver and is like a really talented kind of like publisher. Like he self-publishes his own magazine called Found You.
Okay.
And we're working on a book right now of milk crate, just like milk crates I've seen in the street, all iPhone photos. That. And we're gonna make like a really cool like pared down zine with like no text and just like cool milk crates I've seen in the wild.
In the wild? Yeah. In the wild city.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so even, when I'm just like biking to work or like out in the city doing whatever, I'm always like
keeping an eye out,
looking for interesting things to take photos of, and it always comes back out in the work. I think my work is pretty autobiographical, but it's only documenting like really banal parts of my life. Like it's never gonna be like the interesting moments. It's gonna be like the weird like side clipping.
But that's interesting. I feel like that's more showing like internally like your interests and how those have evolved. Which I feel like can be almost more telling in some ways. And more interesting.
Editing's gonna be fun for you.
It's gonna be such a blast. Maybe I'll just leave them hanging. So you kind of said that you've had this interest with the milk crate for a while. For about like 10 years, you said?
I started painting them in 2017.
Yeah.
Something like 7.
Yeah. But I'm curious, have you ever and I feel like you have a pretty consistent way of painting style, if I may say. And I'm just curious, do you ever make work that's completely different than your practice, and do you ever show it, or how do you feel about it? And if you don't show it, why?
Well, I feel like going back to the sketchbook thing, when I'm drawing, again, I don't know if it's worth pulling out because it's not really
It's okay. Maybe you can show me later.
I'll show you later. But a lot of my sketchbooks, drawings, like I said, it's drawing for drawing's sake, so it's not really anything I would work into a painting ever. It's kind of just very graphic, inspired a lot by I guess tattoo flash, which is something in high school and early college was something I was super interested in. It's just totally different. I mean, I think there's a clear connection to the paintings, but to me, for years I was trying to reconcile the two, or trying to find a way to get those drawings into the paintings, which I do a little bit. I do, but they feel like they're in a different world. And I don't show. I mean, I'll post it online every once in a while. I've never shown it in a gallery setting. I've made zines of them years and years ago.
But why do you think that is?
Why I don't show it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like how it feels in a tactile way, flipping through a sketchbook and just looking at it. I don't really want to desecrate the sketchbook by pulling them out and then framing it. I don't know. It feels almost too or just over. I don't know. I don't want to make it this fancy thing in a frame in a gallery. That just doesn't feel
what that is.
Yeah.
It takes it out of its context.
Yeah, totally. And I feel that way. I don't feel like my work is like, I had someone tell me once that my work is not slick. And
slick?
Yeah. It's like, you don't make anything that's like slick. Meaning, I think he just meant like
polish.
Like polished.
Okay.
And I agree. And for a while I was like, oh, well, I want to make slick work. And I was like, actually, no, I like how everything is kind of like messy and I don't know, like with the milk crate work I made at Bath a couple of years ago, like I just displayed everything on the floor. I didn't want like plinths or anything because I was like, they're milk crates.
I think I went to that show.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, they're just milk crates. Like they don't belong on like a plinth or like on a pedestal. Like they should be on the floor.
Like you wanted to keep them, like I said, like in the context that they are.
Yeah, like literally and metaphorically, like low, you know, just like down there. And I think it feels the same with the drawing. It's like kind of like, no, this is just like a teen-made boys drawing sketchbook. Yeah. So I think that's my reasoning mainly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes complete sense. I just like to ask that because like, I don't know, I feel like it's a really interesting balance. And I also like to hear about the mindset of like, or like, not the mindset, but the path of like trying to like merge your works together and like deciding to leave something there or deciding to like have it inform it but like keep it separate. Yeah. And that's like a really interesting like process.
Yeah.
It's not shared often. You know?
Yeah. It's an ongoing thing for me, for sure. Of like, yeah. I guess it's like an editing problem really. Yeah. But
and I feel like a lot of painters, like at least for me and people that I've spoken to, if you're someone that does stuff with paint, it's very common to like feel like a strange disconnect between like the paintbrush and like the pencil.
Right.
Because it is so different.
Yeah.
Right? And like trying to connect the two, it's different languages that you're trying to like put on one surface. Which is really difficult.
Yeah. I've tried like
a few times
making paintings of my drawings and I'm like, this just looks stupid.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've tried that a few times too, and I'm like, this.
I feel like every painter has to go to that phase where they're trying that.
And it's like so frustrating, but then there's also something like special about it at the same time because you're like trying so hard to like bring this language onto that language, and then you kind of have to like relinquish yourself to like the importance of that being in the book, kind of what you were saying, like in a sketchbook on the paper, and like find importance within that and be like, this is still like valid and important and special, and I don't have to like make it a painting to like, have it have value.
Yeah, not everything has to be elevated to that way to be like important.
Yeah.
I guess.
This next question is kind of like an off-put thing, but have you ever felt like giving up on your work, or have you ever did you ever like feel like this is actually not what I want to do? And if so, what made you stay in it?
Yeah, I mean, technically, like in a not so serious way all the time, like you know,
no, 100%. I get that.
It's like I hate this, like all the time. I spiral in the studio all the time, and I'm like, what am I doing?
What the fuck am I doing?
But then like in a more serious, like I might pivot. Like I think when I was like in between transferring schools when I was like 21, but you know that was quite a while ago. I've been pretty like sure. I'm just like I don't really have any other
thing that you want to do
or like skills.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I would do besides just like work for another artist, I guess, forever, which, you know, I still might have to do that.
Yeah.
But no, I feel pretty like at this point making art is something I have to do. Whether, I don't know, it's like I feel kind of crazy if I'm not making stuff. So at this point, yeah, whether things work out for me or not, I'll be making art in some capacity.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that feeling is something that really comes out in people's work, comes through is more what I meant. I'm pretty picky, well not picky, but I decide on who I want to ask about doing the podcast pretty specifically, I'm not just asking anyone. And I'm pretty happy with who I picked so far, because everyone that I have asked about this question, they end up saying the same thing. It's this is kind of a necessity for me at this point, and it's not really an option. I will either succeed and have it be a way to sustain my life, or it'll be something on the side, but it's always going to be something that I have to do. And
it's
that
not
makes me really happy.
A money-making venture.
It's kind of a need to survive. And that's the way I think it should be. If it's an option, I don't know, that you have to have you kind of have to be at the hand of it, if that's, I don't know if that's the right term, but it needs to be the thing that's necessary.
And it's just such a hard field to really put a dent in, or get your feet off the ground. If your measure of success is some sort of financial stability coming from your art, it's such a difficult area to choose, so you really have to love it, and you have to do it, basically. If there's any part of me that's I like this but I don't love it, then,
or I could do this instead, you should probably do that.
Because it's just such an uphill battle, so
no, 100%, I agree. It is definitely an uphill battle. And speaking on what makes it an uphill battle, galleries. What has been your experience navigating gallery relationships? I feel like it's such an obscure, weird world, and I'm interested in hearing your take on it, because you kind of had the West Coast and East Coast experience, so I feel like it's pretty good.
It's such a learn as you go thing. And I think I'm sure everyone you talk to is going to have a different answer, because it just depends who you're dealing with. And even a dealer's relationship with any two other artists could be so different, depending on how long they know each other and what their personalities are like. And a lot of artist gallerist relationships are friendships first, and it's this really natural thing where, and then in other cases it can be very business and we don't have a real relationship. I feel for me, with Equinox, it feels very friends vibes, I guess. I've known Sophie, who's the director, for years through an artist I used to work for, back when I was still at Emily Carr. So I kind of knew her vaguely, or kind of in a working way. And then, I think she saw my work at the grad show in 2019, and just luckily I already had my number, because I had to I knew her through work. So she just texted me. She's I liked seeing your painting. I would love to come by the studio. And I was oh, great. And then we just started doing studio visits, and she's a really quirky, funny, disarming person. She's not a scary businesswoman. So we just naturally I don't know, we're friends, and I feel that with Equinox, it is pretty much that way with all the artists. They try and work with people for the long haul. They're not just gonna like pick you up and then drop you if they're not able to sell your work. They're like pretty like committed to like lifelong relationships. So it feels pretty like I mean, at first it was like a little intimidating, you know, like yeah, just being like this kid like a few years out of art school, and not, you know, knowing and still learning like what to ask for, like learning like what they can offer me or how I should be interacting. So
or
I'm
like
still
expectations and stuff like that. Their expectations of you, your expectations of
just like knowing what is okay to ask for, like what help to get, or like what resources they can or cannot provide is like always confusing, and it's different from gallery to gallery. Some galleries will like whatever, like help you write for grants and will, you know, whatever, do stuff like that. Other galleries are like kind of
just selling your work.
And like maybe they're doing that really well, but they're not necessarily like fostering other parts. So it's an ongoing thing, and it's been, you know, also interesting moving here like shortly after my first show with them, and like, you know, keeping in touch, but I'm now like in another country on the other side of the continent. And so like it's like any relationship, you just gotta like keep in touch and like communicate. So I feel really fortunate to have that. And then I don't know, I mean, to this day, as far as other galleries are here, like I have a lot of friends who make an effort to like go to every opening of a gallery they want to work with. I'm not the kind of person that can like just walk up to someone and introduce them.
It's like just a little daunting.
And I definitely have friends who have like, we've been out at openings and they're like introducing me and like kind of like networking, and I feel so, I'm just like, I don't know how to like network. Like I'm the kind of person that lets things arise naturally. And I would just rather be painting and paint, and obviously you have to try and get out and meet people, but I try and just put my energy towards the work and like
hope that those relationships will grow naturally rather than like eagerly seeking them out.
But I think, I don't know, the internet exists, and I have gotten most of my opportunities through people seeing my work, I assume, on Instagram. So, you know, I do think maintaining that, unfortunately, is really important. And like small galleries over here I've shown over the last year have just been people finding me through Instagram.
Because that's kind of one of my questions. Is what do you think galleries, because I feel like it's so obscure because social media is so new and it's evolving on what it is and what it means for artists. What do you think social media, well, this is kind of a difficult question to answer because it's not directly specifically to you, but what do you think galleries' view on social media is?
I think it depends on the gallery, but I think they're all trying to embrace it now because I mean, we're getting to the point where I think a lot of people are wondering if galleries are as important as they used to be, just because it's so much easier to sell your art directly, connect with collectors, and like have your art be seen. I mean, of course it's ideal to show in a real space at a gallery, but it's not necessarily
the only way.
You just don't need them anymore. Like you did, I assume you did, before social media. So I think galleries are trying to embrace it in order to like stay relevant, and they are finding their artists online, just like everyone is finding new artists they like online.
It's interesting. because I feel like there was a weird transition period where I think a lot of, well, I mean, from my understanding and like my perspective on it, a lot of galleries considered social media like tacky.
Yeah.
But then now I'm feeling like there's like a switchover happening where they're like, okay, well, this is not really going anywhere, and like you're saying, it's kind of taking over our job.
And now galleries are making the most tacky content of anyone. Like it's like they don't know how to use it, but they're like, this is so tacky, but I guess we have to. And then they're making like the absolute worst like reels of like exhibitions. And I'm just like, you guys,
the walkthrough.
It's not that hard. Just take a photo, a nice photo, and post it, and say whose work it is. Do not add an EDM track over the top. Do not. Yeah, it's funny.
It's the walkthroughs from,
yeah.
Do you know, like the sped up walkthroughs of an opening, and you're like, this is not how you do it.
Or like live Q&A artist talks. I'm like, you cannot pay me enough to do that.
No, 100%. But yeah, I guess it's just like evolving quite quickly. Their perspective on it, and it's gonna have to evolve. What is your idea? Well, I guess you kind of talked about it. Your idea on social media. You kind of like started from it, and you appreciate it, I guess. Or is there anything else you want to say about that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think my opinion is really like that different from anyone else's. Like, it's evil and horrible and draining, but it also is necessary. And I have like discovered so many artists on there and like made like genuine friends that are like in real life friends through it, you know?
Human friends.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't really imagine life without it.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I try and post less. I used to anything I made pretty much would go on there 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and now
more selective.
I try and just like, I don't want to give it away, you know. I want to incentivize people to come see stuff in person, go to shows. If I have a show, I will kind of post
a little bit more
stuff from that show. Like I've been posting a lot recently just because the show's up. Like, go see it if you're around, or if you can't see it, this is what I've been working on for the last 6 to 8 months. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to like lean out of it as much as I can, and like now that I don't feel as much pressure to sell my own work, that helps. Like there's
like on your own.
Yeah, like that's kind of, there's other people that should be doing that now.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so
someone's helping you out with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's evil, but I can't.
Necessary evil.
Yeah.
Kind of like in the same. Well, I don't know. Not as evil, but like in the same way of like reproducing work and stuff like that. What is your idea on prints? Like not like printmaking, because that's its own art, but
like
I mean
making
like
prints
of your
paintings.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I have been getting a lot of people online asking for, and I'm very resistant, I guess. I've been thinking about actually doing a print release, but I would want it to be, I wouldn't want to just like make a painting and then like print it. It would be, I would want whatever the print is, I would want to make the image knowing that it's going to be a print. And I don't know, I feel like it kind of, for me, just speaking for my own work and like the context that I'm trying to keep my work in, I don't want to like, I guess, cheapen like the painting by making like 200 of it.
No, 100%.
You know, I think a lot of artists do that, and I think, you know, they're doing what makes sense for them in the context of their work. But for me, especially when like, I don't know, these milk crates, like it's such a slow process, and like I feel like I'm imbuing this object with like a charge.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's really special, and I don't want to like
take that away from that.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right to me.
No, 100%. I feel like for a while, a lot of artists have been feeling pressured to do that because like, especially when you're starting off like earlier on in someone's career, it's like can be a good way to like, make an income because like most of the people that you're showing it to are like friends and you're like people around you and they don't have like necessarily money to buy like anything. But I feel like the more and more that I talk to artists who are kind of going into the new, like the next stage in their career, they're a little bit more like hesitant, like you're saying, because there's like a place and a certain like respect that comes with like the making of a painting that's kind of taken away when doing a print. And like you're saying, which I really appreciated, like the energy that you put into a work. You're completely like stripping that away when you're making a print, and it's kind of upsetting because that's kind of the whole. I mean, I don't know if that's for you, but for me at least, it's kind of like the whole point of making a painting is that it's like an exchange of, not to sound like a total hippie, but like an exchange of energy with like the viewer. You're like putting something into something, and you're charging it, and they're gonna see it, and they're gonna hopefully feel something from it. And a print just doesn't do the same thing.
I like the idea. Lose so much of it, and I don't know. I think we all need to be like really thoughtful about what we're putting into the world. Like, there's just so much stuff.
Like,
I don't need it to be. I don't need my work to be like hanging in everyone's bedroom. You know, like there's already just so much material in the world, and I am adding to that. We are adding to that, but I think being thoughtful about it and like slowing down is never a bad idea.
No, I agree.
But I also like I think it's like a way you can put the power in your own hands and run your own small business in that way, and I don't like poo-poo anyone for doing it.
100%. There's certain people's work that it makes a lot more sense for.
Absolutely.
And that's their practice, and that's what works for them. But I do understand. I think I'm in the same like mindset with that. It's hard to navigate. So we have like a few more questions now.
Oh, that felt fast.
That was pretty good. So the first last question. Why did you say yes to this interview?
I think because, I mean, obviously we don't know each other, but I knew you at MCAR, you're from Vancouver, and I mean, I think I just, again, talking earlier about community and like helping each other out, uplifting each other up, that's important. Honestly, if you were like from Ohio and we had like no mutuals, might have just been like,
it's okay.
But I mean, I interviewed people like this when I was coming up in Vancouver, and was really grateful for like the knowledge sharing, and you know, every person, like more senior artists in Vancouver who agreed to like do a show at our gallery, or just came to our openings, or shared our stuff, or gave me a job, you know, like that's the whole
thing,
everything of what we're all doing. So I just felt like I was like, okay, I'm gonna help. Totally.
Thank you. Well, I like to know because, you know, it's curious, but that's the response that I'm usually hoping, that it's like help the community. Right? And then, do you suggest this career?
I think, like I said before, like, yes, but just be sure that you like have to do it, you know?
Like it's a necessity, it's not an option.
If it even feels like a choice, then you probably should not.
100%.
Like, not to be corny, but you know, it's like gotta be more of like a calling, I guess.
No, 100%. I mean, as cheesy as it is true. It's not like, it's not easy. It's not something that you're like, this is gonna be like great and like such a smooth ride.
Yeah.
It's more like this is going to be a struggle the whole way through.
Yeah, but what a
Great
such
struggle.
a good payoff, you know?
Yeah.
I'm certainly not complaining.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And then kind of in the same vein as that, what 3 qualities would you say you need to be an artist? Or creative? Tricky.
Yeah, I mean...
You need to love it. That one was... it needs to be like an option. Like, not an option.
It's so hard because I feel like so many personality types can do well in this field, you know? So, I don't know. I would say just for me, the 3 qualities I have that I think have helped me
Yes.
would be like a sense of discipline or determination, being able to be alone,
That's a good one.
and also being able to be social. I think
Yeah.
a balance of introvert and extrovert.
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great 3 qualities. It's like one thing that, one piece of advice then for an emerging artist, something that they should really do.
Yeah, I think it's make opportunities for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in whatever small or big way you can, just collaborate with your friends and do something and do it again, and just don't wait around for someone else to offer you something, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then last question is, realistic or unrealistic? Which 3 artists would you like these questions asked to?
If I want to watch them?
Maybe realistic or unrealistic.
Okay. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just throw out the painter that I've been the most obsessed with for the last couple of years now.
Please.
Stanley Whitney.
Okay.
He's New York based. But that's just because I've been really into his work for the past couple of years. He's
that's great.
do you know his work?
I can't think of it off the
I'll
top
show
of
you
my
a
head.
book
Yeah,
when we're done.
please.
But it's completely abstract, totally different from my work. But also I think you'll be able to see kind of a weird
Reads
connection.
into it, yeah.
But yeah, that's just my number one painter for the last couple of years. So I would just be curious.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a musician of some kind.
Yeah.
I can't play any instruments, but there's someone that said once every artist secretly just wants to be a rock star.
100%.
I don't know.
100%.
Yeah. I don't know. I might also have to send you
That's fine.
later.
The one artist is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Do you have anything that you want to, I don't know when this is going to come out necessarily, but is there anything that you want to promote or ask anyone to go look at? Obviously you want to put your social media.
Right. Well, you can just plug my social media in the text or whatever.
Yeah.
But not really. I don't know. I talked about my Milk Crate zine that'll hopefully be out before the end of summer.
Okay.
That's just a fun experimental project that I'm excited for. Yeah.
So keep an eye out for the Milk Crate zine. Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Anything
thank you.
else?
No, I think that's all.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was
Yay.
fun.